Hello, everyone. Want to be transformational leader? Yes, it's not easy, but if we can try, we can achieve. So, to become a transformational leader, what is the first thing that we need to do? And how can we become a transformational leader? This is $1 million question. So, to address this question, I can give you certain clues. Transformation leader means that you want to bring certain changes in your organization or in your team or in your department. So to bring the changes, there might be many data you might be coming across, and those data may be a bit of biased. So how to eliminate biasness? To eliminate biasness, you can collect data on same thing from different source, and then you can check the reliability and the validity of those data. Now, but how to do the reliability and validity check of the data? Is it very difficult or it is very easy? So I'll let you know, it is very easy. There's nothing difficult in understanding data and applications of data for inference, drawing inference, or formalizing strategy on it. So I'm talking about your career jump where you can go for a program, enhance your skill on data analysis, specific to understand, the people who are related to your organization, who will support you for the change process, who will actually bring the transformation in the organization. So, who are those people? Those people can be your team member, sales team member, customers, or there are people who are related to the communication channel of the organization. There may be people in operation. There may be people in planning, corporate planning. So there are people all over the organization, within the organization, outside the organization, working together towards a particular goal. Now, if we are able to collect data on these people and we are able to find out a ways to motivate them to work towards the common goal of the organization, maybe in one way or the other, we will be able to achieve the organization result. Now, which program will drive you to that level of data understanding, which will help you in decision making on people? So, here presents the NTPC School of Business. I, Reshmi, is introducing you with the live online management development program, Data Driven Decision Making for Leaders. This will be basically for whom? This will be basically for the people who wants to do certain kind of people analytics, people behavior understanding, and then accordingly you want to implement certain strategy to bring better organization outcome. But oops, I said people analytics. So have you said that I choose my domain because I like working with people, but I hate numbers. So don't worry. Number will not be a problem in the program. It is just a process or a way or a better understanding of the people. Number will not be a critical thing that we are going to work in this program. So what is critical in this program that we are going to work out? So, since we are not going to work out any critical thing, so it is very obvious there is no pre-required skill or knowledge you need to acquire to attend this program. Anybody from any leadership position or anybody who aspire to become leader in any domain, HR, finance, are most welcome for this program. But what will you gain out of this program? So before I let you know what will you gain out of this program and how will you understand people, I have to give one clarification. Always there is a confusion between HR analytics, workforce analytics, and people analytics. All these three terminology are used interchangeably over decades. But are they the same or they have certain difference? So to be very precise, I have a diagram which I have, shared from www.workfordimension.co.uk. So this diagram says that HR analytics by depth and by breadth has certain limitations. Why? Because HR analytics is mostly applied for the HR professionals and it is used for enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of the HR department. Now the question is, our HR people are not dealing with people? Exactly. Yes, they are dealing with people. So any kind of dealing with employee related thing related to talent acquisition, talent maintenance, talent retention, or churn out, or the ROI, cost effectiveness of any process, training need analysis, then what kind of training evaluations we are using. So this kind of particular things which actually enhance the performance of HR department is the HR analytics. But since HR analytics includes people, HR means people, so it is, if we look at the Venn diagram form, so a part of people analytics is also HR analytics. So HR analytics is basically for the HR professionals. Now, when we are working, and especially after pandemic, our workforce, way of pattern, working hours, and many things has been changed. We are working from homes now, so it is very difficult for us to balance our work-life balance when we are working from our home because family peoples are also involved and they have certain level of expectation, and we need to meet the expectation of the organization also. Especially, I'm talking about female executives. So that is the workforce analytics, how we are working. What is our working productivity? What is our work time? What is our work schedule? So all this kind of analytics is workforce analytics, but definitely HR do explore them. But HR analytics is the smaller part of that. HR will only analyze the workforce in term of work schedule and a work design and all this. But let's think about operation. In the operation, there may be many kind of defects going on in a process. If there is a defect in a process, that is because of the process design or that is because of the untrained workforce working in that process. The mapping of those workforce and then putting them into the training, and then we have to check also, are they following the safety of while doing the work? These are not part of HR exactly, but part of workforce analytics. So if we look at the Venn diagram again, so you will find that HR analytics is part of workforce analytics, and workforce analytics is part of people analytics. Now, the question is people analytics, there is little limitless scope. Why it is limitless? It is limitless because we are going to analyze each and every people associated with the organization to understand how we can drive the best business performance. Now, so question comes here, who is people? What do we mean by exactly people here? Now, if we are talking about an organization, organization has two important set of people. Apart from those two set, there will be other people associated and working for the betterment of organization. But who are those two set of people? The first set is the internal people, the employees. Apart from employees, there will be owners, stakeholders who will be also working parallel with the employees and also representatives. What do we mean by representative? There may be people working under third party payroll. There may be people working representing certain vendors, or there may be people, part time people, liquid knowledge workforce. There may be many people working for that particular organization, maybe not directly, but indirectly for that organization within that campus. They are coming and they're working daily. So they are the representative for the organization. Now, what is the another set? The another set is the external people. They are the customer and consumer, very important for the organization. But apart from customer and consumer, there are other vendors who they are known as suppliers. There is a society who look upon the companies for their different activities. It may be a manufacturing activity, it may be a social responsibility activity. So the society people are also expecting from organization. Government, the stakeholders, the shareholders, the creditors, there are different people who also expect and associated with the organizations, and they have certain understanding. Now, all these are people. We need to understand what is the expectation of these people. Until and unless we are not able to map the expectation and the reality of the situation, we cannot breach the gap between the expectation and reality. If we are not able to breach the gap, there won't be a gratification or satisfaction among the people. And if there is no satisfaction or gratification, I can tell you it will be very difficult for an organization to reach its business outcome. Therefore, it is very important that we should understand people associated with the organization. But the question is how we can do that. But before I take down to the the process how we can do down, I would like to share one corporate research forum statistic workforce analytics report of 2017, which says 69% of large organizations now have a people analytic team. And it's very true. I am the example. I used to work sometime in 20s with IBM, and I was part of people analytics team there. And that's how I am here today talking about people analytics and trying to enhance your skill so that you can apply them in your organization, enhance your performance within the organization. So, if we are implementing, people analytics, the business value of people analytics was, researched by Bersin, who's working in Deloitte. So he says that the companies with advanced capacity in people analytics have 30% higher stock price, 79% higher return in on equity, and 56% higher profit margin. So you can very well imagine how people analytics can actually drive towards the business goal. That is the reason I'm sharing all this research work. Now, you must be thinking that how actually it drives. So, I have brought an example before you that in every company, it may be a service company or maybe a manufacturing company, there may be a process. And if the process has certain number of defects, it leads to the complete defective process or defective services. Now, you must be thinking who is leading to the defect. Is it the people or it is the process error? So it can be the people because people are the person who sets the process standard. Now, if they are not setting the process standard properly, so that can lead to defect. So we need to find out why people are not able to perform. Is that because the person is mentally disturbed? Is because the person is not trained to set the standard properly? Is that a reason that we have not selected the right person in the right place and we should change that person from that domain, right? So, how to map it? I give you one more real example. This is the bottle manufacturing company's unit sample analysis. So, they have taken 5 samples out of their bottle production and they find that the second sample has the dimension error, First and fourth has the cap dimension error, and labeling error was found in first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And defective, complete defective. There is no complete defective product, but there were defects. So total units of defects that you can see here is 6. So, how to eliminate this? Because if we are not able to eliminate this, then somewhere our business expected business outcome is going to affect. Now, we need to know the psychology behind the person who has set for the bottle standard. Is that person is suitable? If that person is suitable and performing good for last few years, then why this error is happening? Is there any personal problem in that person's life? If it is so, then as a leader, my suggestion, you should go and talk to that person and counsel that person. Maybe you two can come to an best solution. But if it is not a psychological problem, then that person requires the training for, setting standardization. So you send that person for training. And if training is also not resolving the problem, then I think it is, as a leader, you should decide that you should keep this person in this department, or you can send for the job rotation, or you can send him to other department, give him more challenge just to check that he is able to fit in that process or not. And if actually he is not able to fit into the process, then finally you have to decide what to do with this employee. Are you going to throw them out from the company? Just retrenchment? Is that a good solution, or it's a negative employer brand? So if it is not so, you don't want to retrench your employee or downsize your employee number, what you're supposed to do? Have you heard of the concept outplacement? So you can go for it. So this program will help you to learn different kind of this kind of concept. But before you decide that you will retrench the employee, downsizing, or you will go for job rotation or de-jobbing, or I'm using all this jargon because these are mostly used by the uh, you know HR professionals. So what decisions or what kind of strategy that you are going to follow, you can use one of the beautiful qualitative tool designed by Ishikawa, which is known as root cause analysis. Now this root cause analysis is done by a tool known as fishbone. So a fishbone will help you to, find out the different roots, what is causing the trouble. And that can be man, machine, mother earth, method, material. So you have to call different people from the domain to find out exactly where the problem is. Operation people, HR people, finance people, and ask them, is this a problem there? Have you seen this is happening? And then you can keep on finding out the root, where is the problem going on. And it helps you to understand the cause of the business problem, and then you can work out, yes, we need to work out in this area. Now for example, if you find out that the method that you are following for manufacturing or the services is defective, then you have to find out what are the defect in it, eliminate those defects. And you can apply Pareto analysis, because it says 20% of the problem, if eliminated, 80% get solved automatically. So there are many things that you can use while analyzing your cause of business problem. So there is one problem with the root cause analysis. If you call too many of the people from the organization and involve many people in root cause analysis, you will end up with too many roots. And you don't know which root ought to be addressed first and then taken care of. So for that, there are other qualitative tools I'll let you know in the program. But in root cause analysis also, you should know where to start and where to stop. So there are certain ways of doing it. So this program will give you a compact idea how exactly, irrespective of your domain, you can use this kind of analysis to get into the root trouble. So I will share one more case study with you. This is my very favorite case study. It's a barista people engagement or management, we can say. So here you can say the barista has certain objectives to achieve, which is aligned exactly with what they want to initiate or achieve as a business goal. So they have objective and they decided how to measure it. If you look at the process of the barista of the the strategic team, you will see the finance is there, then the external customer, external people who are the customer, internal people, engagement strategy, and the employees, store manager, barista people, service people who are there, how they are going to meet the objective, one. And the second parameter is how we are going to measure those uh, parameters so that we can understand the objective we are targeting is we are going to meet or not, and why we are designing this objective, why we want to meet this target, because that leads to certain kind of initiatives, that leads to certain kind of uh, take forward. For example, if I'm doing very good for a barista shop, then definitely from that shop I can take some employee and I can start a new shop, because already the people working there, customer coming to the shop are very satisfied, very happy, indicating that the employment engagement level is high and people are satisfied with the service. So employee engagement leading to customer engagement. You see, customer engagement, you must be thinking that I'm in operation, why should I be bothered about customer? I'm in finance, why should I bother in customer engagement? But here, the link shows that your revenue will only grow when customer is satisfied. When customer will be satisfied, when the employees are satisfied. So these are interrelated. You have to switch one to switch other thing. So that is the reason I always says that people engagement is not restricted to only HR professional. It should be open to all the domains so that every people learns that how one aspect is related to other. So that's the way I would like to share one case study of Virgin Media. Here you will see that because of the bad customer services, there is a huge revenue loss, which is 4.4 million pound. And as soon as they understand this problem, they strategize their positive word of mouth strategy. The customer who was happy start speaking good things about the Virgin Media, and the potential customers started joining the company, resulting into increase of 1.2 million, that you can see 5.6 million pound. There is a change, and that's how the marketing strategy has changed the business outcome of the Virgin Media. So it is who actually give the customer satisfaction. It is not the customer getting the customer satisfaction. It is the internal people, the employees, is setting that standard so high that customers are happy. The customers are happy, then the revenues is high. I will share one more example. It is again from Corporate Research Forum on Clark, and who says that if there is an increase in engagement, employee engagement, there is always increase in business performance. So 1% of employee engagement increase in Clark has lead to 0.4% of business performance. And there is 68 million annual revenue in pound, of course, they have as their business outcome. Isn't it an excellent achievement? But you can see this engagement, employee engagement, customer engagement goes hand in hand. And this cannot be perfect if the operation people are not in between, who makes the operation defectless. So to make the operation defectless, employee engagement is there, and then whatever outcome is coming out of the operation, it leads to good customer engagement and then the business performance. So I hope I'm able to relate things and able to explain why people analytics is important for all domain and not restricted to only HR professional. And people behavior doesn't go by book. So anything we are doing by book, by principle, by theory, business will not work. People behavior, people attitude, they are very dynamic. We need to explore them. We need to change ourselves. So exploring and changing is not always possible, but we can always keep on collecting data. Like, even though I'm not present in my shop, I can ask my shopkeeper that kindly take the feedback before customer leaves the shop. So from that customer feedback, I will be able to know that how my shopkeepers are working, even though I'm not there, even my eyes are not there, even maybe I may not be using the cameras there. So, driving by the behavior, driving by the people is the best way, not driving by the theory. Now, what we are going to learn from this program? The best thing that we are going to learn is the transformational leadership. How a transactional leadership changes into transformational leadership. Any transformation cannot happen immediately, bit by bit changes is required, like dolphin changes. Small dolphin changes will lead to a whale changes. Whale is the most biggest mammal on the sea. So it's dolphin is the small, so dolphin changes, small will lead to the whale changes. So why I'm telling you so? Because that will help you a permanent kind of change. And to bring this change, you need to understand what is going around, how people are reacting to your transformation, or how people are, actually willing to adopt your way of leadership or not. Now, for this, you have either quantitative or qualitative ways of analytics. But I would suggest hybrid framework of qualitative and quantitative analysis give you the best result. But you must be very worried that who will attend this course? Am I eligible? So, as I told you, any leaders from any domain, from any department, or any person who aspire to become the leader are most welcome to this program. So you can be from HR, marketing, finance, analytics, consultancy, IT, communication, corporate planning. You can learn how data is being analyzed in a very simple way, and how you can manage your small team, big team, then how you can make them perform. Then you can also learn who are the high potential performance member in your team, how to motivate them. Okay, fine, you understand, you motivate them, good. What about the low potential employee? Are you going to say bye bye to them from your team, or you can make them work? How you can make them work? What are the strategies that you can, adopt to make them work, and without telling them that you are low potential employee? And there are sometimes, as a leader, you have to take certain decisions, which maybe for people oriented is required somewhere, because that will help the leader to gain not only the trust but the psychological safety of the employee. That is very important aspect. Gaining trust is a bit easy, but psychological safety is a little bit difficult. But how to gain psychological safety? Through data. So where to start from? So I would like to tell you about a book, The Power of People, which is, actually written by Phasing, Nigel, and Farrar. They says that you should be doing it with a business question, then build your assumptions. On the basis of your assumption, decide the source from where you can get the data, gather data, analyze them, get inference, design certain kind of recommendation and strategy, implement them, and after implementation, definitely reevaluate them. That is very important, that whatever you have implemented is actually working or not. That reevaluation through the data analysis is also important. That helps the leader to understand that actually transformation is happening or not. Now, what kind of things that you can do for data collection, data gathering? What can be the source? So I have given certain example of people data analysis source. So, from the customer satisfaction, from customers word of mouth, from customer interview, customer feedback form, you can collect different data on employer branding, customer satisfaction, and brand perception. This kind of data you can collect. Now, from the people directly, you can collect information on jobs, social media monitoring, networking analysis. You can do welfare, well-being analysis, work-life balance analysis, mental health analysis. These are from the people side. These are not exactly the HR analytics, but definitely people analytics to understand. One more thing I can tell you, as people analytic team, I still remember using genogram. Genogram is generally to diagnose the different layer of generation and from where the problem is rooting down. We used to try to map in that person with the help of the genogram. That is an qualitative tool. So that helps us to understand why the employee is not behaving properly in the organization. Is there any personal level problem or not in the family or not? So we used to develop those kind of thing also. Apart from that, if you talk about HR department, then you can have anonymous feedback, performance check, exit interview, annual survey, Pulse survey. There are different surveys being conducted. From there, also you can collect data, or you can directly observe people. You can customize certain kind of observation tool which is currently known as a behavior observation scale. You can learn how to implement it, observe the behavior, and can measure them. Why I'm saying observation of the behavior. If you ask me for my appraisal that you rate yourself, so I will rate myself 5 out of 5 in every parameters because I think that I'm excellent and I'm the king, but it may not happen. My behavior might say something different. So the difference between my actual rating and the behavior that it indicate will help you to understand where is the gap. So that's how observing behavior, giving certain kind of rating and measuring them will help people to eliminate biasness in the process. So in that way, people behavior analysis is also becoming important in our near future. But if we have to handle this kind of people data, what kind of data that we are going to have? One is quantitative, which talks about different kind of data in numeric that we are going to collect, which is mostly the close-ended. Why I'm saying close-ended? For example, if I ask you, did you like the food over here? You have the option yes or no. So either you will say yes or you will say no. I'm not allowing you to give a statement, yes, I had this food which is very good, but that the chutney with that food is not good. I'm not giving you so many options to speak for. So mostly the quantitative data are close-ended kind of data. We use it for data visualization, understanding pattern, and statistical measure. Qualitative data are mostly in statement like we collect during the interview and then we do a certain kind of transcription, and we can also analyze qualitative paragraphs after doing certain kind of thematic coding, and then how this code can be used in finding out the frequency of those code and how they can be analyzed. And sometimes risk priority analysis, cause and effect analysis. There are many other analysis that you can use for qualitative kind of thing. But whatever you do, whenever you are using any kind of planning to use any kind of matrix, three A's that you need to remember: accessibility of the data, auditability of the data, and what action able the data is. So if you're not considering the three A's and you are collecting data, then I think it might lead to certain kind of, a measurement error. Or if it is not leading to a measurement error, it might, will create certain kind of problem for giving you better understanding and inference. So it is better to follow the three A's. Now, when you follow the three A's, what is the next step that you are going to do? The next step that we are going to do is the descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive. So first we have to describe what is the problem, then diagnose where is the problem, why that problem is happening, and then predict what are the factors causing that problem. And at the last, when we know what is the problem, then we have to prescribe on it. And this is again, suggested by a person of Deloitte. So this all we are going to cover in our program. But before we learn the analytics, we must unlock the value of trust. Our employee are going to trust their company and share their details, or will allow us to collect data. If you're thinking of such kind of question, then my answer is yes. 92% of the employer are open that yes, we can collect their data for their personal benefit. 62% of the business are using new technologies for the source of workforce data. 30% of the business leader think that they're very confidently using workforce data in a highly responsible way. The trust dividend between the growth rates, losing and earning employee trust, is approximately $3 trillion. And this is not my word. This is the, research by Accenture published in the Data and Unlocking Value in the Digital Workplace 2019. Now, how data's understanding how people think and feel about workplace through data analysis help to create better and healthier world. So 56% thinks use operation reporting tool, 10% think advanced analytical tool, and 4% think predictive analytical tool is recorded by Deloitte Human Capital Trend, but nobody thinks that this can be applied for the people analysis. Everybody thinking in the process dimension, everybody thinking in the HR dimension, financial dimension, operation process dimension. Nobody is thinking about the people dimension, which is very important that we need to pick up. And why we need to pick up? The reason is that people analytic will gain a very maturity label in next 2 to 5 years. This is the graph that I have taken. Sorry, I didn't mention the source, but it will be in the reference. I have taken it from the Deloitte research paper, and it says that in next 2 to 5 years, predictive analytics will go as to 60% of users. So now we do not use people analytics or HR reporting at all. We are in that area. So from here, if you want to enhance your skill in next 5 years, maybe you are the most demanding transformation leader in your organization. Why not to prepare yourself now? Why we need to wait for the next threat to come? And what happens if the people analytics maturity labels goes high? 2 times more likely to have data council responsible for data governance, 3 times more likely to have strong partnership with business unit, and 3 times more likely to have an organization culture of data driven decision making. So in next 5 years, in the high impact people analytic burst by Deloitte, which is a continuation of the previous research, I will say that things will go very high in next 5 years. So why to wait till the next 5 years when the people analytics will be absolute important for your organization, and that time you have to learn and implement. Why not now? As you know, a pre-required, you will keep on learning and enhancing your skill, and by the next 5 years you will say, yes, I'm the leader, I know how to do this, and how I know how to make decisions from the data. Now, what skill does leader need for the future? First, producing data, understanding and selecting what kind of technology that you can use to collect data and use a centric approach. And then, what is the relation between the stakeholder influence changes and building credibility? you know so you have to functions in three distinguished area, and I'm not saying this, there are many HR companies globally who are saying this. I have only quoted one of the source, but if you actually explore my source reference, you will find more companies is recommending this kind of functions for the future leader. Oops, this is an excellent presentation. This is a qualitative presentation of the, marketing team who, or maybe operation team, any assumption. So, how they are performing. What is their skill label that they are having? In any of the box, if they are having all the four chamber red, means that person is eligible for coaching that skill. Now, I will make a simple explanation. For example, if you look at the skill score below, you will see that the lowest score is 20 out of 6. So 6 out of 20 is the lowest score for skill 5, and it's 9 out of 20 is in skill 7. So in skill 7 and for skill 5, we should be, planning for training need analysis for the team members, because these are the weakest. Now, if I talk of the team member who should go for the training for the 5 and for the training for the 7, then I think from the 5 I should be sending A, and then I should be sending D, I should be sending E, I should be sending C. But of if all this member goes, then there will be a difficulty to perform. So to understand from 5 whom to send, you have to find out who is the next lowest score in 7 and other skill also. So there are ways of finding and mapping it. There is a typical skill. You can put this number in the Excel file, and I can share my work experience where I will facilitate you through Excel how this qualitative analysis can be done to measure or to map the high potential people. Now, this is the numeric or quantitative presentation of the performance of the different team members. Now, if somebody is getting 5, that person is expert. The previous was the qualitative, this is quantitative, and similar kind of implications you can do. And then identifying and making decision, training need analysis, decision on how to train people, how to give challenges to the high potential people, otherwise they're going to leave the organization, or how to, give challenges to low competency people. And if they're low competent, are they willing to work? If they're willing to work, how we can, motivate them? If they're not willing to work, then what else we can do to motivate them? So I will be sharing different strategies on it. Now, the last thing that I would like to share, how to present people analytics report. The only principle that you need to remember is KISS. Oh, what is KISS? Keep it simple and stupid. Just a straight line. Don't say that I got a R square in a regression and this means this. Why it is required? I will let you know the easiest way that you can represent the people analytics result to your any senior authority or any people or maybe customer or maybe stakeholder who may not be statistician will able to understand your result. So I will let you know, I will facilitate you how to present data in a very simple manner so that everybody can understand and interpret it. So, what question do you have for my whole session? Also, you can write me down to dr.rashmi.manna@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me, or you can call me. But if you really actually want to know what is people analytics and how it is done, then I would like to tell you that please join me on 4th and 6th of March. So on 4th and 5th, we will be having classes from 2 p.m. On 4th, we will be having the inauguration at 1:30 p.m. And then on 6th, we will be having class from 10, and the graduation ceremony will be at 4:30 to 5. But all this 3 days journey will be, a huge learning for you. At least I can claim so. Your feedback will actually let me know that how much I was able to facilitate for the learning. But I'm eagerly waiting for these special 3 days where I can interact with all the leaders of the organization. So this is something about me if you are interested to know about me. So it is all there, and you can always get in touch with me through LinkedIn, and we can have a very mutual benefit in terms of any kind of discussion or research or any project. This is the reference for all the research work that I was talking throughout the presentation. And if you are interested in getting deep into what is exactly people analytics and how it is going to help your career transformation or your skill transformation, please do refer this. For today, that's all, but I am expecting all of you to join me from 4th of March 2021 till 6th of March 2021. Till then, sayonara and see you.